Genesis 31 is a chapter of conflict, courage, and God's deliverance. Jacob heard that Laban's sons were saying, "Jacob has taken everything our father owned and has gained all this wealth from what belonged to our father." Jacob also noticed that Laban's attitude toward him was not what it had been. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." So Jacob sent word to Rachel and Leah to meet him in the field. He explained, "I see your father's attitude has changed toward me, but the God of my father has been with me. You know I have worked with all my strength, yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. Still, God did not allow him to harm me. Whenever he said, 'Now the speckled will be your wages,' the flocks bore speckled. When he said, 'The streaked will be your wages,' the flocks bore streaked. God has taken your father's livestock and given them to me." Jacob then told them of a dream in which God spoke, confirming his blessing and commanding Jacob to return home. Rachel and Leah replied, "Do we still have any share in the inheritance of our father's estate? Does he not regard us as foreigners? Surely all the wealth God took from our father belongs to us and our children. So do whatever God has told you." Then Jacob put his wives and children on camels, gathered all his possessions, and set out to return to Isaac in Canaan. But while Laban was away shearing sheep, Rachel stole her father's household gods. Jacob deceived Laban by not telling him he was fleeing. On the third day, Laban was told Jacob had fled. Taking his relatives, he pursued Jacob for 7 days and caught up with him in the hill country of Gilead. But God came to Laban in a dream at night and said, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, and either good or bad." When Laban reached Jacob, he said, "What have you done? You deceived me and carried off my daughters like captives of war. Why did you run secretly? I would have sent you away with joy and songs. Why did you steal my gods?" Jacob answered, "I was afraid you would take your daughters from me by force. As for your gods, search and see for yourself, dear. With whomever you find them, they shall not live." But Jacob did not know Rachel had taken them. Laban searched Jacob's tents, Leah's, and the tents of the servants. He found nothing. When he came to Rachel's tent, she had hidden the idols in the camel's saddle and was sitting on them. She said, "I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is upon me." So he searched but found nothing. Then Jacob grew angry and rebuked Laban. "What is my crime? For 20 years I have worked in your house. The ewes and goats did not miscarry, and I did not eat the rams of your flocks. I bore the loss myself when animals were stolen. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your flocks, and you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac had not been with me, surely you would have sent me away empty-handed. But God has seen my hardship and rebuked you last night." Laban answered, "The women are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks. Yet what can I do today about these daughters of mine, or about the children they have borne? Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I." So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. He told his relatives to gather stones, and they piled them up as a heap. Laban called it Jegar-Sahadutha, and Jacob called it Galeed, both meaning heap of witness. Laban said, "This heap is a witness between you and me today. May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent from one another. This heap is a witness that I will not pass beyond this heap to harm you, and you will not pass beyond it to harm me." Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and invited his relatives to a meal. They ate and spent the night there. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and daughters, blessed them, and returned home. Genesis 31 reminds us that God defends his people. Though Jacob was mistreated and deceived, God's hand of protection was upon him. He brought him out of Laban's household with wives, children, and great wealth. God is faithful to keep his word and to guard those who trust him. Next comes Genesis 32. Jacob prepares to meet Esau, and he wrestles with God in the night, receiving a new name, Israel.